So the survey that your officer will be doing in all the schools, the officer who's been trained by Homeland Security, I've also had active shooter situation training by Homeland Security, so I know what that is like. My question has to do with what he or she will be making note of, and its relation to the recent, well not recent, but in the past few years there was a bonded renovation, a $60 million renovation to the schools. Is any of what you're seeing now from that list? Is there anything left over? What I mean is there anything that was not done as part of that phased-in approach physically to the schools, like the airlocks, that could be done as part of that money? Or is this all completely separate money?
That money is gone. The renovations are done. That's correct. And my understanding is there are, and I couldn't list them for you, I wasn't here at the beginning, but there have been many things that have come up over the past year and a half that people have said, ah yes, that was in the renovations and got cut out. So, such as additional cameras in different schools. And I can't even think of the other things. The magnetic doors where you use the key fob to open the door as opposed to having to use a regular key. So there were several things, and I don't know them all, that were included and then cut out. They weren't seen as high a priority there.
Thank you.
Oh, and I'm sorry, and your first question was about the vulnerable. It's really the officer will be looking at how vulnerable our buildings are in terms of a threat from the outside or from the inside, because they're going to be doing both inside and outside. I don't know if that helps a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Arden.
I have a separate question, but to follow up on Terry's comments, so there may have been security issues like airlocks that weren't addressed? Could have been in the project and then eliminated due to...
There might have been. I don't know that that was part of it, but I do remember cameras was at least one of the things. And I remember something from the fall that I heard in the fall. Oh yes, that was in there too, and I honestly don't remember what it was.
But there were security issues.
Well, the cameras would be security issues, absolutely.
Okay. The officer who's volunteering to do the vulnerability assessment, that's commendable, but if it's on a volunteer basis...
It's not volunteer, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I thought our...
No, he may have volunteered after I spoke to him, but he's doing the threat survey.
Okay, then I must have misunderstood.
No,
he has another full-time assignment.
He's got another assignment which he has
to
work. He's going to be pulling his, he's assigned as the narcotics officer. He's going to be pulling himself away from that to volunteer to go and get this done for the Board of Education.
I'm sorry, so I thought my question was, so how long is that going to take? But okay,
he's what he told me is he's looking, as he can get to it, he's going to be enlisting the Rockville officer also to assist him. He is looking at about a day to day and a half per school. They do assessments inside, they do assessments outside. He conducts a report, and I'll be providing Dr. Conway with that report. And then from there, this board can make a judgment as to what they think needs to be changed.
So that information, that report will be shared with the board?
Most likely in executive session, I would imagine, security at that point.
Other questions for anybody? Mrs. Bush.
Several of my questions have been answered already, thank goodness. When you have the external threat or the internal threat where you have to shut your blinds, do all the first floor classrooms have blinds?
No, they don't. In fact, that was one thing in the renovation. There were many blinds taken down in schools and they were not replaced. So they've been on the list for a year and a half, 2 years now, as they realized that they weren't being replaced. And so we've been trying to get those blinds. The custodians, the week before the holiday break, the custodians went from room to room in all of their schools, checking all their locks and all their door blinds and their outside window blinds. So we now have a list of what needs to be done. So we're looking to get that accomplished.